Good afternoon, my favorite Halloween fans. It's me, the media guy, and today I'm here to do a second look review of another one of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies ever. Scooby-Doo Franken-CREEPY. Now, as usual, I assume you might have seen my original review of this movie nearly a year ago and pretty much know what the heck to expect from it. But in case you need like some kind of little recap, then which is fine by me. Can Scooby-Doo and the crew solve this monstrous mystery? Scooby-Doo and those meddling kids, Shaggy, Fred, Daphne, and Velma, are back in this all-new original movie. Oh boy. Velma discovers she's inherited her great-great-uncle Dr. von Dinkenstein's Curse castle in the terrifying town of Transylvania, Pennsylvania. Oh boy, that is. Oh boy, do you smell that? That smells like trouble! Just when the gang pursues Velma to go claim her inheritance, the ghost of von Dinkenstein Castle blows up the Mystery Machine as a warning. Now the crew must spring back into action, but this time it's personal. Who is responsible for the von Dinkenstein monster? What family secret has Velma been hiding? Will Fred recover from the loss of his beloved Mystery Machine? Can any helpless snack survive Scooby and Shaggy's monster-sized appetite? This Scooby-Doo adventure has enough spooky fun to make the whole family come alive! Alive! Honestly, after giving this movie its second look review treatment, this movie is still pretty enjoyable. In the most spooky way possible. Still has a very interesting story with a beginning, middle, and end. There's still no lie that Scooby and the gang is still popular in the Hanna-Barbera community. Still has some decent animation. The music is quite entertaining and does have a certain beat to it. And I honestly think this pays good tribute and respect to the original 1930s Universal movie Frankenstein, which I know is actually based on a book of the same name before it was adapted into like a motion picture movie by Universal. So I probably said all this before in my original review, but I guess it doesn't hurt to repeat. Doesn't hurt to give you guys a little recap, since this movie is quite enjoyable and feels like the right type of movie to watch during the Halloween season. You know? And I never had any problems with this movie. I also like how this movie has a few callbacks to some of the gang's previous cases, like the Mamba Wamba mystery, the case of Old Ironface, Redbeard's ghost, and the Green Ghost, both of which from Scooby-Doo Where Are You and the Scooby-Doo Show. And if you thought Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo, which would come out a few years later down the road, would have callbacks to past Scooby-Doo villains, this movie also did it first, in movie form. And yeah, okay, technically, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, which I already did a second look review of it, technically had callbacks to the previous Scooby-Doo villains first, followed by the video game Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, and then Scooby-Doo Franken-CREEPY, and then Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. So that's like 4 different Scooby-Doo projects that had like callbacks to past Scooby-Doo adventures. I actually like this. Sorry for the stuttering. Like I said before in my original review, I honestly love the setting of this movie, on how it takes place in Transylvania, Pennsylvania. It's also funny how both Scooby and Shaggy thought that the Transylvania they thought it was gotta be somewhere in Eastern Europe, but it's really gotta be in Transylvania, Pennsylvania. I guess they like to be more folk-like. Pay respect to the good old 19th century folklore of Transylvania. And yes, I know that Transylvania itself is probably famous for being. I think Transylvania is famous for being like a horror city. Such as Frankenstein, Dracula, werewolves, you name it. Hey, it almost reminds me of Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein and Dracula Dead and Loving It. Both movies which I already reviewed before. And not only that, but this movie can be very dramatic at times. Like Fred losing his mystery machine during an explosion. And he often keeps forgetting that it blew up to smithereens, all because of the ghost of von Dinkenstein. I also like how Velma's going to mad scientist territory. I think I might have said this in my original review, but seeing her go all scientist mode is pretty bizarre and quite crazy. I mean, look at her. She almost gives me Morticia Adams vibes. With the dress, and for the hairstyle, it kind of reminds me of Hades' hairstyle from, the Disney movie Hercules. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but still. She would prove to the gang that her uncle's monster creation will be a fake. I mean, if you watch this film for yourself, you would pretty much know why she's so obsessed about debunking the supernatural, and will later find out that her uncle was right. Supernatural monsters are real. Although which, spoiler alerts, she was hypnotized into thinking she brought back her great-great-uncle's monster to life. Yeah, this movie can be... Yeah, I guess this film is quite insane, I honestly think that this is the right type of movie to watch during the Halloween season, since it kind of reminds me of those old school Universal monster movies of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Heck, I already mentioned Frankenstein several minutes ago. Oh boy. And again, the castle itself looks pretty amazing. I mean, good look at it. I'll give you guys a few seconds or more to get a good glimpse of this. Yeah, it does look like the type of castle any mad scientist would own. I mean, look at this. This is like the type of castle you would probably see in those sorts of horror movies. Not sure. I'm still not sure if Scooby-Doo Franken-CREEPY was meant to be like a tribute to the old school Universal monster movies, as well as all sorts of horror films in general that came out before and after this one. But still. But you guys would probably let me know down in the comments below if that's true or not. And before I wrap this up, I also pointed this out in my original review that there is a fan fiction version of this movie on the internet, and it also includes Velma's sister Madeline Dinkley, who did appear in Scooby-Doo Abracadabra-Doo. So I'm guessing the fanfiction version of Scooby-Doo Franken-CREEPY, sorry for the stuttering, It's kind of like a little remake, but with Madeline Dinkley in it. Which I highly recommend you guys reading the fanfiction version, because I probably said this before in my original review, but I do remember reading it like many years ago, and it is quite intriguing. I'm probably not going to go into much detail about the fanfiction version because, well, I guess it has been a long time since I read it. Oh boy. But moving on. Scooby-Doo Franken-CREEPY is still one insanely nutty movie for a lot of horror fans and Scooby fans in general to enjoy, including myself. Heck, I even remember Scooby-Topia talking about this movie last Scoob-Toper, which I might leave a link in the description down below, as well as JB and Millie and Ashton Hardy talking about this movie in one of their Smash or Pass videos. So I might leave the links down below in the description for you guys to check out, so that you guys will well, I guess JB, Millie, and Ashton Hardy will probably do a better job describing this movie than me. Even if this is just a second look review. So I'll probably give this movie 5 Transylvanian torches out of 5. Because that's how wonderful this movie is. No matter how nutty and wacky it is. So do you guys have any fond memories of Scooby-Doo Franken-CREEPY? Just let me know down in the comments below. And happy Halloween. Oh boy, better not do that again. Sorry about that. I won't do it again. I probably gave you guys nightmares.